Within the first week I was out here on SEAmester, Shannon and I, we had bow watch together. So the two of us were up there, and we're still getting our sea legs, so we looked at each other and we said, I don't know if I can do this, man. And she goes, well, I'm out here to have fun and meet new people and to get stronger and have a good thing. I looked at her and said, I'm out here to test my mettle. I want to get stronger in character, physically, and everything, mentally.
I like the sailing a lot. I like being at sea. Being at sea is just like, it's got such a feel to it.
Good.
I always get that feeling, you know, in my stomach when you're out on a boat and, you know, waves, the swells start coming in, or you get the weather that starts coming over, and you just get this feeling like you can feel like all the blood rushing through you. You get so excited, and there's nothing else like it. Hold the peak!
Without a doubt, I love the sailing. That's probably my favorite thing on this trip. You know, you're out on the boat for 4 or 5 days at a time, and you're getting woken up at strange hours, and you're running around, and you're beat by the end of the day. And every hour you can get a chance to, you know, sneak in a little nap, you take. But I haven't felt this in this good a physical shape in a while.
Physical demands have been kind of hard. I mean, it's been a workout, certainly, and I was prepared for everything in the Caribbean, but when we caught that white squall off of Cape Fear, I was not prepared for the cold and the wind.
Being in the nap shack, it's oh my, it's so cool. It's definitely the coolest place on the ship.
292, but then that's true. So it's actually, you have to add 8 degrees, which means it's 300 degrees magnetic, has been our course steered.
Our watch officers are all great. I mean, even the deckhands, everyone seems to have a different specialty or something that they're really familiar with, and you know, they take you under their wing and you learn it, and they'll teach you until you get it. Well, they want you to get as much out of this experience as you can, and it's something that you can see is truly heartfelt.
What we're looking at are just lots of fragments of shell material, right? And a lot of that's just broken up coral reef that's been either battered by the waves or other chunks of coral, or even broken apart by organisms. And they end up grinding up the reef itself and turning it into the sediment, which becomes these beaches and these sheltered little coves.
Like, we'll in the past study coral reefs, and then an hour later go out snorkeling and, you know, actually seeing these things, identifying, you know, taking samples, and everything we do is based upon what we're actually going to do when we get to a certain port. Being out on the ocean, I mean, this is school. You know, I wake up, I come up on deck, and here I'm at school. We're learning about things while we're actually doing them. Didn't have all those little ones.
Big eyes.
This one.
You know, they say, was it, a picture is 1,000 words, but an experience, there's no limit to the words describing that. I mean, when we're talking about the ecology of the place, zonation, Pillars of Hercules, Cumberland Island, I mean, when you walk through it, there's no other way, there's no better notes in the world.
Done a lot of things I didn't know I would do. Didn't think I would have the opportunity to do.
Right.
Jumping off little cliffs into freshwater ravines and hiking to volcanoes. Like, I mean, I read it in the papers, but you know, it just didn't click until you were actually standing there on top of it and smelling the boiling lake and whatnot.
To be in the rainforest, like, I've always wanted to be in the rainforest. It's been a goal of mine since I was like this big, to like run around in the rainforest for a day, and we got to do that. It was like at a National Geographic, and I thought that was awesome. And to experience talking to the people and to hear about their culture and their way of life, and to just see the landscape sometimes just are enough to knock you off your feet.
We have things like plantains here, bananas, tanias, dashing, you know, just name it, pawpaw, papayas, pumpkins, plantains, and those are the things we live on Dominica. Makes us strong and healthy, you know what I mean?
I think the trips also opened my eyes to all the different people that you can actually come across, and the different types of lifestyles, and the culture that you're brought out into is just something that you're just not really you can't even imagine it. You can't think of anything like it until you're there.
Not that I wasn't open-minded, but I was very naive. And so this trip kind of pointed that out, and I realized there's a whole world out there to see and things to do and more adventures to discover, you know? This is just the beginning.
I did all this reading, like especially for our literature class, we had to do all this reading about the trip, and everything I had read was about, you know, man against nature, man against the sea, and that's the reason why I wanted to come on this trip. I wanted to see all these things, but I really wanted to test my mettle. You know, I wanted it to be me against the elements and such, and I never actually expected it to be kind of almost a man against man thing, because I'm a loner. I'm a bit of a lone wolf, and I never anticipated that I would have to get along with everybody in my watch. Is because I'm fiercely independent. I like doing things by myself, relying on only myself, and here there's others relying on me, and I'm also forced to rely on them.
If I had a problem with, or not so much a problem, but if I felt overwhelmed or aggravated, you know, the thing that I do is run and hide, and like I said before, you can't really run and hide here, so it's more dealing with the problems that are at hand rather than running from them, which is a big plus in what I've learned. You gotta face it and deal with it, and the more you do, the easier it gets, and now it's like nothing. Things that I used to think I wouldn't be able to, I guess, tolerate are like nothing to me now. I did think this trip would make me a stronger person, more independent, and that it really has. I think it showed me through all the experiences, such as the 16.5-hour hike, being able to survive through the white squall, and just building bonds and working hard and being exhausted and still being able to get up and do your work. And, you know, it's definitely made me a stronger person. I don't think I will ever say, you know, I can't do something.
To me, I needed it. I needed to step out of the real world for a while and get on a boat and think, and it's priceless. It's not, you can't put a dollar amount on it.
I came on this trip for inspiration, I guess, and other stuff too, but mostly for inspiration, and it's actually inspired me to, I want to work doubly hard at home at the things that I do on land, and I'm graduating when I get back, and it's like, you know, this is like, it's a whole big turnaround for me. It's another turning point in my life, you know, like graduating college and starting life, and this trip kicked it off.
Like I told my dad before I left, I was going to make him proud. And I've made him proud, I think, if he could have seen me on this, and I made myself proud by getting through it the way I did.
If anybody ever has a chance to do anything like this, do it. Don't be afraid, because it's the experience of a lifetime.